Hello and welcome to Abbievision. Today I'm going to read you an undone fairy tale by Ian Linder, and it was illustrated by Whitney Martin, and its publisher group is Simon & Schuster. Once upon a time there lived a princess who was famous throughout the land, not only because she was beautiful, but she baked the most delicious pies in the kingdom. Many men wished to marry her, but she was very lonely. My favorite kind of pie is a chocolate pie. What's your favorite kind of pie? You see, her stepfather, the king, loved her for only one reason, her pies. And to keep anyone else from having them, he locked her in a tall, dark tower. No one, not even her mother, could help her. Every day, the princess had to bake pies for the new king, and every night she prayed to be rescued. I'm not a fan of baking stuff. Do you like to bake? Many knights tried, but before they could marry the princess, the king made each knight perform 3 dangerous tasks. All of them failed. As she watched the days and nights pass, the princess gave up hope until one day Sir Wilbur arrived, the bravest, most famous knight around. He told the king, "Your Highness, I wish to marry your daughter." You may have noticed that the king's unusual crown. Let me explain. You see that fellow painting the wall? That's Ned. Wave hi, Ned. He's making all the pictures for this story. But you're reading so quickly that he hasn't finished the painting or the costumes for this page yet. So instead of a crown, he just stuck a donut on the king's head. We'll pretend that's a crown though, okay? Good. A donut is a silly crown. The king said, "For your first task, you must slay the savage dragon that threatens our land." Sir Wilbur said, "It shall be done. Fetch my horse and armor." Sorry to interrupt again. You're still reading very fast. Please don't turn the page. Ned doesn't have the horses or armor yet. I wish you hadn't done that. Now we have a problem. Sir Wilbur and his men need to ride something. All Ned has are these fish, and the only costumes are ready are these tutus. But since you kept reading, we'll have to ride fish and wear tutus. That's silly to ride fish and wear tutus. So the knights rode into the hills to the dragon's cave. "Dragon, come fight," shouted Sir Wilbur. From inside the cave came a mighty roar. They prepared to face the dragon. Now Ned and I admire how well you read, but the story will be ruined if you turn the page right now, so please don't. I think we should turn the page anyway. Oops, the dragon's still in the shower. He didn't think he'd be needed this soon. But you turned the page. That means we need a dragon. And the best Ned could find was this pretzel. I don't think a pretzel would make a very good dragon, do you? So Sir Wilbur and his knights rode their trusty fish into battle with the pretzel. After a fierce fight, the pretzel was defeated. At the celebration, the king said, "For your second task, you must build a mighty wall around my castle." Sir Wilbur said, "It shall be done." Wait for Ned's sake. Making walls take time, hard work, and... Why did you turn the page? I asked you nicely. Poor Ned had to build the walls with the first thing he could find. Grape popsicles. Grape is one of my favorite flavors of popsicle. What's your favorite flavor? Sir Wilbur presented the king with mighty purple walls. "Very well," said the king, "but for the third and final task, you must fill my castle moat with the meanest creature in the sea." Sir Wilbur said, "It shall be done." Don't turn the page until tomorrow. Ned needs time to go to the ocean, get a boat, and catch the most terrifying creature anyone has ever seen. This is Ned's dog Trevor, with a shark fin tied to his head. That's the closest thing Ned could get to a sea creature. Look, we're trying to tell a good story, but you're reading too fast. So Wilbur said, "Your Highness, I've given you the fiercest shark dog around. I've completed your 3 tasks. I wish to wed your daughter." Never, cried the king. And now that I'm protected by walls and a moat, no one can take her pies from me. And he threw all the knights out of the castle onto their tutus. Actually, you can turn this page. Ned spent all night on the next picture. Thank you. Later that night, an enormous pie appeared at the castle gates. Bring it inside for my breakfast tomorrow, the king ordered. So his guards dragged the pie into the castle. But this was no ordinary pie. Sir Wilbur's men had baked it and hidden him inside. I think that the knights are going to kidnap the princess. What do you think? Meanwhile, and when everyone was asleep, Sir Wilbur pulled himself free. Meanwhile, in her tower, the princess was getting bored, waiting to be rescued. Suddenly a voice cried, "Never fear, Sir Wilbur's here." She turned and saw him standing on a ladder outside her window. "My hero," said the princess. "Oops, Ned worked on that pie so much, he's fallen behind. He's hammer and nailing furiously. But it's really important that you don't turn the page. Trust me." Because Sir Wilbur leaped in to meet the princess and he fell through the hole in the floor that Ned couldn't fix because you turned the page. I hope you're happy. Down and down Sir Wilbur fell until splat. He landed in the king's smelly dungeon. The princess was getting mad. "I'll never get rescued at this rate. I'll just have to do it myself." She climbed down the ladder and ran towards the forest to find Sir Wilbur's knights. "Please," Ned exhausted. "The forest isn't ready. Plus the knights aren't here. They're off eating lunch. No one thought you'd read this quickly, so you can't go on, right?" This is getting ridiculous. Ned had to dress monkeys in knights' costumes, and we'll pretend those crayons are trees. It's silly to have monkeys dressed as knights. The princess told the monkey knights, "The king has Sir Wilbur imprisoned. Bring me a fish and sword together, and we can save him." "Ooh, ooh," cried the monkeys. In monkey language, that means hurrah, fetch her a fish and a banana sword. Stop. Stop right now. I refuse to let you turn this page." "Fine. But just so you know, Ned has run out of fish. The only thing left is this snail." So the princess led the monkey knights very slowly into battle. And not just any battle either, but the biggest, most exciting battle any storybook has ever seen. This is your final warning. The next page won't be ready for 4 or 5 weeks. So put the book down and come back then, okay? Pretty please? "Oh no," said Ned. Because the castle gates opened, the king came out leading an army of pickles. "You're outnumbered," said the king. "Surrender." "Never," the princess raised her banana and cried, "Charge!" Suddenly, a flock of pretzels flew down and melted the popsicle walls into a rushing river that swept the pickles away in whack. The princess knocked out the king into the moat, and then Ned quit. He can't take it anymore. We'll have to finish without his help. If I was Ned, I'd probably quit too, since I would have to use snails as knights. "Help!" yelled the king. "Ooh, why won't someone help me?" Trevor was holding him down, slobbering on his donut-covered head. But with Trevor distracted, the princess crossed the moat unharmed. Then she rescued Sir Wilbur. That's a very creative drawing. What's your favorite part about the drawing? And together the princess and Sir Wilbur rode her snail very slowly into the half-painted sunset. Now, we've run out of the letter E. Good thing for all of us that this is the end. Thank you for watching Abbievision.